You're listening to this. You're listening to this. This is filler. That's what this is. We're about a minute and 7 seconds short of being half an hour long. And after Friday's fiasco, I can tell you I don't want to leave you short at all. Because you'll come round to my house with guns and knives, demanding payback. That's how people look upon podcasters these days. If you don't give them full value for money, I can tell you, they basically hunt you down and kill you. They take all your cats away, and then they put you into an old folks' home, and then they say, what do you make? How do you like them apples? They say, and then you correct them on their grammar, and then they shoot you in the head and tell you that puts an end to it, and then they wonder why there's no more podcasts. Absolutely fucking ridiculous. Anyway, on with the show. Monkey nuts. That's what they call them. They call them big steaming piles of monkey nuts, big steaming, vomit-covered, fly-attracting, not in a good way, grass-covered, I don't know what else, whatever. Suppose it depends on the monkey nut. You can't be tarring all monkey nuts with the same brush, but no, don't shoot the messenger here. All I'm saying here is that there are some monkey nuts and some people, and when those certain people and those certain monkey nuts their paths cross, those people are not complimentary towards those monkey nuts, whether deservedly or not. Don't shoot the messenger, as I say. I don't know, there are some people who come across certain monkey nuts and they'll say, that's a shit-inducing, vomit-covered, piss-spewing, cat-killing, blackboard fingernail-scraping pile of monkey nuts, and not in a good way. That's what. In fact, some of them they'll go up to something that's not a monkey nut, and they'll say, that's a monkey nut, and they'll mean it as a terrible insult. That's when you know you've got someone who can't have monkey nuts. I see this is the problem nowadays. Some doctor came on some phone in somewhere on the radio 20 years ago and said, there's some peanuts, certain types of peanuts that if you bring them within 10 miles of a child, the child will instantly die and be, brutally paedophile as well on the way by the peanut. And then suddenly half the world turns against peanuts. You can't get on a fucking plane now without someone saying, did you bring peanuts on here? You're sharing a concealed tin can environment with some children. If you don't be showing them them peanuts, or you'll fucking be a murderer. You might as well be an axe murderer if you're going to be behaving like that. That's what they say. I blame the media. The media such as this. This, I suppose, is part of the media. It's one of the media, or one of the mediums, however they're called. What's the singular of media? And what's the plural? I don't know. Does it really matter? We're splitting hairs, or splitting... if you split hairs, as long as there's an even number, that's not really a terribly difficult task. If I have two hairs and I decide to split them, just put one hair over there and one hair over there. There's nothing miraculous about that. It's hardly splitting the atom. In fact, that's probably what happened with the atom. They had 12 atoms, and they said, let's put 6 of them in the canister on the left and 6 of them in the canister on the right, and that'll cause a nuclear catastrophe like none other, and we'll end World War II. Absolutely fucking fantastic, and everyone will think we're great. No, any fucking idiot could have done that. You just drag, you get your atoms in there. I suppose you have to have good eyesight for it. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to do it, but no, splitting atoms is not a problem as long as you have some basic maths. No one even says they have to be evenly split. You could probably have 5 on one side and 7 on the other. You don't have to draw a dead straight line down the centre quarter of them. No more than when you slice open a banana. You don't have equidistant, equisizable parts. Well, maybe you do. What way do you slice a banana, incidentally? I sliced 2 bananas this morning. Well, one of them I sliced delicately and fried her up with an egg and gave it to my spouse. The other one I just broke up with my hands because I couldn't be arsed getting out a knife again. So I just broke her up. This is the one I was eating myself, though I don't really care about how bananas are cut for myself. If you start worrying about how well cut your banana slices are when you're just going to toss them in a pan with a fucking egg, then I can tell you're a fucking weirdo. There's more to life than that. Life isn't a big fucking, what do you call it? A big fucking design competition. No. Someone's not going to come up to you at the end of your life and say, now show me all those bits of banana that have been through your intestines over the years and let me see how they shape up and size up in terms of shape and size and consistency. No. For one thing, they'll all have broken down by then. Unless it's, I understand corn doesn't digest, so maybe they can check your corn, but you can't be responsible for that. You don't cut up corn, you get it in whatever size that comes in naturally, and tell you all that effort you put into cutting and slicing stuff, it won't be of any help to you when you get to the pearly gates and they say, show us your digestive system. For one thing, you'll have to explain that you lived in a modern society where all of your human effluent is pumped away from you miles away the instant it comes out of your body and you flush the toilet. So you haven't really kept any evidence, and they'll say, well, that's no use to us. Why didn't you keep evidence? There's no point living a good life if you're not going to hold on to the evidence so we can check it up. And you'll say, oh, I kind of thought it was. Frankly, for one thing, I thought you'd have your own records and methods of doing this, and frankly, for another thing, I didn't believe you existed. Then I can tell you that's when the shit'll hit the fan. Luckily the fan may not have been switched on. You don't need fans in a place like that. A magical Santa Claus type place like that, they're not going to need fans. They probably won't even need this 7-inch spit guard that I've got in front of my microphone at the moment. I can see spit flying out of my face at the moment onto it, and Christ, I'm using it. It was one of the best investments I ever heard made here, I can tell you. A big joint spit guard, or whatever you call it, a pea popper or anti-pea popper. People don't take kindly to your popping your peas in the audio media, you know. No, it's considered bad. If you do anything else, if you meh your mems, that's considered fine. If you tih your teas, that's considered fine. But no, if you pop your peas, you can pih your peas, but you can't pop them. I'm not sure what the difference is. Surely that's just a matter of pronunciation, not a thing where I can just go and this fucking thing will catch them. Am I supposed to clean this occasionally, I wonder? I don't know. It's got a small hole in it up at the top, but that doesn't matter because it's so big. There's still plenty of pea popper garter material there, enough to cover my entire face. I could be popping peas out of my nose or out of my eyes right now and it would be fine. Wouldn't be a problem. Anyway, on with the show. Now, I know what you're thinking there. You're thinking, oh, this is a relief. This is substantially better than Friday's episode. Because as we all know, those of us who listen to it anyway, and those of us who performed it, I suppose, as well, if we're honest, know that Friday's show was a pile of crap. It was substandard, piffle, absolute bollocks, pure unmitigated. Well, let's not overdo it, but it wasn't one of my better ones, and I'm not afraid to admit that. I'm not too proud to admit that. I'm happy to come along here and say, I'm not perfect. I'm not Saint what's his name at the pearly gates who we were talking about earlier, and even if it was, as we've just established, he spends his days obsessing over looking at at people's lifetime excrement. He's hardly that's hardly a position to strive for in life. You need to before you decide to go trying to emanate your heroes, you should pick your heroes carefully first. Superman, for example. Superman. I've written a couple of articles about Superman. Perhaps I'll bring them to you at some point. If you search the website for Superman, you'll come up with one called Superman Was an Asshole, and another one called Is it Too Soon to Make Fun of that fuckhead Jim Henson? Okay, how about Christopher Reeve, or something like that. I was all in the spirit of humour. I don't have anything against any of those people at all. But suffice to say, if you go around looking for things to criticise about these superheroes, I can tell you'll soon find them. But you don't normally. No. Normally you look at them through rose-tinted spectacles and you say, oh, look at Superman. He's looking very dashing today in his rose-tinted superpowers and benignity and his world-saving powers. But no, according to the last movie, he disappeared off for 5 years somewhere and then came back. In those 5 years, we'd had September the 11th, we'd had September the 12th, which was just as bad because the smoke was still coming out of everywhere. We had September the 13th and the 14th and the 15th and the 16th, and then we had the next few weeks when there was all those terrible funerals happened. People make a big deal about September 11th. No, there's been several more dates that were just as bad. That's like, if I look out the window there, I say, oh, look, there's a drop of rain over there. Isn't that terrible? It's one of the worst, wettest days on records. As it happens, it's been pissing rain here for the last 2 days. But no, I have to look at the whole area outside the window, and as it happens, it's all wet. But what if I looked out and only one, that one particular area that I happened to single out was the only wet bit? Then I'd be misjudging the outside world. I'd be misjudging the weather. As it happens, no, there's been lashing rain. I was out in the rain today because I'm not afraid of a bit of weather. There's more to life than I tell you. There's no point trying to emulate, wherever you call it, Superman and Saint Gabriel and all these people. If you're going to be afraid of a bit of weather, oh no, go out in the weather. I went out to the clothesline in my t-shirt and rescued some wet clothes and brought them in, and then I went out to put a dead bird in the bin, and then I went out earlier. I went out to release a live bird that flew away. I don't think it was the same one. And then what else did I do? I went out to the shop. Admittedly, I got a lift in a car, but I did get out of the car for several minutes, and I did walk. I walked confidently through the rain, well aware and confident that it wasn't going to kill me. It's just frigging rain, as the Queen song goes. Into every life a little rain must fall. Something. It's on the Miracle album if you're interested. What else? There's plenty of songs about rain. Do you want me to get started on songs about rain? I'm sure I can. Raindrops keep falling on my head, but that does mean my arse will soon be turning red because I'm free, nothing's bothering me. That's the Manic Street Preachers version of that classic, of which I'm quite a fan. Anyway, suffice to say, relax, don't be afraid of the fucking weather. Now, I know what you're thinking there. You're thinking, he's making assumptions about me. I'm not afraid of the weather at all. He's placing, he's like he's looking at me through contact lenses, and he's on the contact lenses before putting them in. He's drawing a picture of a rose-tinted, except whatever the opposite is of a rose-tinted, I suppose a brown-tinted per listener, and he's decided that he by He's looking at me. He's looking at me through those, basically, and he's misjudging me. I'm not remotely afraid of the weather. Well, that's fine. This is all fictional. There's no such thing as rose-tinted spectacles. There's no such thing as you, the listener. According to the latest stats, there's no such thing as what I just said, because that's a lie. The latest stats are very impressive. We've had more listeners than for some time lately. So even that's a lie. Don't be taking everything seriously is the point. Although I may well be looking at you through shit-tinted contact lenses. I'm not wearing contact lenses as it happens. I'm wearing proper real glasses like a grown up. I'm not afraid to hang things on my face. My face isn't that fucking delicate. I have to glue things to my eyes instead. No. I get a proper frame and incidentally, do you need glasses? You probably do. If you're obsessing over them as you are right now. Well, Into Your Head has an online prescription glasses affiliate that ships worldwide. Just go to intoyourhead.com/offers. You'll see it down the right of the page. You'll see an ad for whatever they're called, some company or other that sells prescription glasses. I've had a few listeners now buy them and be very happy with their purchases, and every time I was even more happy because I get a generous commission every time you buy your glasses through that, and it doesn't cost you any extra, and you get them directly sent to you by delivery to your home, so you don't have to be afraid to go out in the rain with no glasses. You can just sit at home watching television until your new glasses arrive. Absolutely fucking fantastic. You can also help the show every time you shop on Amazon for anything. Just go to intoyourhead.com and go through my Amazon links, and then proceed to Amazon as normal, and I make a ton out of that. Doesn't cost you a cent extra. And you can also do other stuff. See intoyourhead.com/offers. I suppose that's the commercial breakdown, is it? I should have marked the beginning of it in some way. I should have played PQ Ribber going, there's still more to come on Into Your Head, but I didn't. I decided to not break. I decided to have a seamless interruption, so as you basically trick you into listening to an advertisement. It's all in the interests of bettering the show, though. As you can see, today's show was much better than Friday's. You'd like to think that that's because of it's because of nothing in particular. It's probably because I didn't start today's show at 9 in the morning before I had properly caffeinated myself. No, I got a little too anxious to get it done on Friday. I started at 9 in the morning. Started my coffee, apparently it doesn't work. Having your coffee earlier doesn't work. You still have to allow yourself till at least 10 a.m. to get started. Otherwise, you're going to record a pile of crap. Lesson learned. From now on, the only thing I'll do before 10 a.m. is drink coffee and draw cats. That's what I'll do. And do my other little side projects about which you don't need to know. But suffice to say, they assist the continuing existence of this program 3 times a week. Anyway, there's still more to come on Into Your Head.
There's still more to come on Into Your Head.
I know what you're thinking there. You're thinking, 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 you're thinking. Bollocks. You're thinking. So that's what you're thinking. So don't think you can hide your thoughts from me. It's rather easy nowadays. Everybody has the same copy of GarageBand. I was listening to I Am Idiot podcast the other day, and they make a lot of tunes, and I heard one of their tunes sounded remarkably like mine. But no, I knew damn well, to sure as Christ as hell, that they hadn't stolen it from me or anything. It's just that they use GarageBand too, and there's a limited number of samples in there that you can use. So no, if you hear I Am Idiot podcast from England, which I highly recommend incidentally, don't be confused, they're not copying me. In fact, if you listen to the latest episode, they deal with a question from me that I've been asking in various forms and in various incarnations since 2004, and they attempt to deal with it in their own way. So go listen to I Am Idiot. That's not an advertisement, incidentally. That's just a mention. If they want an advertisement, they'll have to pay me. Although I wouldn't say no to them making a jingle or two. I believe they do that sort of thing in return for this mention. Cough. Is it too soon to make fun of that fuckhead Christopher Reeve? Okay, how about Jim Henson by My Bear Bowsy, first published in 2004. These are the words and thoughts of My Bear Bowsy, my blogging alter ego at the time. These are not my personal opinions. Anyway, I've recently come to realise that the cheapest option is not always the best. I learned this when I bought an inflatable deathbed, which I used during my recent illness. The rusty nails that were in my throat at the time apparently punctured the airbed, and as a result I am still alive. I blame shoddy workmanship. Nails should not go rusty in your throat if your throat is dry. Anyway, to make a long story short, I'll leave out the bit that introduces all the characters and paints a picture of their surroundings. Then I'll send it to an editor and have them shorten it further. If that doesn't work, I'll break it into 2 parts, just like Quentin Tarantino's Kill Bill. I must say, I enjoyed that film immensely, mainly because there was plenty of yellow in it. I like yellow. Yellow summons up images of suns and flowers and dairy byproducts and all sorts of wonderful things. But apart from that, the very word itself contains a wonderful contrast. The 2 words yell and low, which of course are complete opposites. You cannot yell and be low at the same time, unless of course low refers to your physical location rather than the pitch of your voice. For example, you could be yelling at the bottom of a canyon, even then, though, you would have to be sure that the bottom of the canyon is below sea level, otherwise you're not low. And how on earth are you going to be able to measure your position relative to sea level when something that you yelled 3 minutes ago is still echoing off the canyon walls and distracting you? Canyons, of course, themselves contain a similar contradiction. You clearly cannot be canny and on at the same time. If you do, you'll do yourself an injury, end up attempting to sue me, Bowsy the Bear, the author of this blog, for some vague thing that your dodgy lawyer comes up with, and get laughed out of court. And it serves you right. If you want a quick buck, you should get yourself a more legitimate source, like a pyramid scheme or something. There are still countless pyramids in Egypt waiting for a sponsor at time of writing in 2004, and instead of supporting them with a clever and intricate system of chain emails, you are wasting your time trying to pursue a canyon-related writ against a fictional bear that stands no chance of success, you fucking idiot. Besides, the only thing of any value that has ever happened in a canyon has involved a roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote, both of whom are fictional characters like me, and therefore of no meaning in our real world. And even if they were not fictional, they would still be 2-dimensional, so they could hide from you instantly just by standing at a 180-degree angle from you, rendering them invisible. Not that an added dimension would be likely to make these creations any more credible. The only way of adding a dimension to a cartoon character is to turn it into a puppet, and then we're talking about some guy's hand up your arse. The only person who could put his hand up your arse with any credibility was the late Jim Henson, and he's dead, although I'm sure his son could reanimate him with the help of a few strings and a suitable stuffing. Personally, brackets, this blog was written by Bowsy the Bear, not Neil, host of Into Your Head, close brackets. I think Christopher Reeve said it best when he said, the Muppets were cool. I watch Pigs in Space and I think, someday that will be me. As soon as I recover from this damn horse riding injury, I'm going to make another Superman movie too, you know. Just give me a few months and I'll untangle all these nerve endings with my Swiss Army knife. Did you know I was in the Swiss Army? Neither did I, but I must have been, because I seem to have one of their knives. I wonder did I suffer some memory loss too. I asked the doctor about that recently, but I can't recall what he told me. Anyway, another few months and I'll be right as rain. I know what you're thinking there. You're thinking, that's appalling. Absolutely fucking appalling. Drivel. Drivel and offensive drivel at that. It's one thing doing drivel, it's another thing making it offensive. In which case, it's not really drivel. It's stuff that's being written with something in mind and therefore has become offensive. It's not nothing. It's not like when you get some mud. That mud is a load of crap. But that's fine, mud is drivel, but if you get some mud and mix in some poison into it, then it's more than just drivel, it's intentionally dangerous drivel. Well, I should explain again. That was the text of an article first published on my website newsburp.com in 2004 and penned by my then oldest bear, Bowsy. I now have a cat called Bowsy the second. In the interim years, I had a cat called Bowsy the first, and I still have Bowsy the Bear somewhere. But no, I take no responsibility for that crap. I just put it in as an illustration of what can be done. If you shove your... it's like the writing equivalent of astral flying. I got out of my own pen for an hour or two and wrote that in the voice of Bowsy the Bear, a fictional character based on a real piece of stuffing that happens to have an old childhood pajamas of mine inside its neck and an old yellow windscreen wiper inside its belly somewhere, but is now crammed into my if I remember rightly, into my hot press somewhere. So no, it's basically it's the character equivalent of taking your pencil for a walk, getting out of yourself for a while. You should try that occasionally. That's what all the great artistry people do. You get out of yourself for a while and be someone else, or be an inanimate object. With fictional magical skills of being able to talk and have a personality. Anyway, on with the show. Did I say on with the show? I probably did. I think what I meant to say, or what I should have meant to say, was on with the end of the show, because it's time to draw this to a conclusion. What conclusion will we come up with today? I suppose we could conclude that, hold on, let's do this properly for a change. We could conclude that, based on everything we've discussed today, we've concluded that people are bigoted about peanuts. Retaining toilet waste can be useful for religious reasons at the end of your life. Hairs can be split and thereby demystifying nuclear weaponry. Banana slicing causes strange behaviour in people. People look at superheroes through rose-tinted spectacles. People assess the weather through shit-tinted spectacles. I Am Idiot podcast can be defended on the basis of Apple having having a garage band thing that everybody has, and bears are basically vulgar and objectionable, and Christopher Reeve and Jim Henson are perfectly decent, albeit dead people. So that's what we've learned today, and thank you very much indeed for listening. There now follows the end of the program, and we'll be back on Wednesday with more. Intoyourhead.com/tipjar, intoyourhead.com/offers, intoyourhead.com/services. That's a new one. Go there and have a look at what's there. Absolutely fucking fantastic. Studio at intoyourhead. Oh, this is very professional what I'm doing here, isn't it? Studio at intoyourhead.com. Today's producer was me. Today's script editor was me. The audio column was contributed by Bowsy the Bear. Copyright me 2004. What else? The end.
Sit, Kofi, sit. Good cat.